Ooh, welcome everybody to WagerTalk Today, the best daily sports betting show on the planet. I'm your host, Lawrence Presman, and we got a hell of a show lined up for you guys. Stay with us all the way to the end. This is going to be a doozy. We got Gianni the Greek right off the bat. Where are the best, smartest, wisest syndicates in the world? Where's their money going? What are they betting today? What are they betting on the Miami-Atlanta game? Gianni's going to tell us exactly that. Andy Lang coming on after that. He's got some prop bets for us. We got Brandon Siefkin, Tokyo Brandon as they call him, the best baseball bettor on the planet with us. He's going to take apart 2 baseball games. And Marco D'Angelo with a deep dive into some NBA, both tonight's game and a game for Saturday. I'm Lawrence Presman. That's already been established. Gianni the Greek joining us right off the bat. And Gianni, what are you doing at 1 p.m. Eastern today, Gianni? What are you doing in an hour?
I'm going to be betting. I'll be betting. Yeah, for sure. And actually, I have a call with someone at exactly that time that's supposed to have a couple accounts because we're doing a lot of damage. Anyone that's been following along has seen what we've done with the baseball, college baseball, MLB, and they're just starting to drop it, man. Like, that's the problem, getting this stuff down. But, you know, I keep crying the same song. What are you going to do? It's life. It's life.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So all you people out there with problems, where do you think on the list getting down winning betting information would be in life? That, my friend, is a problem I look forward to having. Gianni, 1 p.m. Eastern time, we are doing a live NHL playoff preview show. Ooh. We are still lining guests up. I mean, it's total mayhem in the back. As of now, we have Jeremy Roenick right off the bat, 1 p.m. We got Brad May. We got Shane Corson. We got Matthew Barnaby, Andrew McGinnis from Puckline, Andy Lang. This show goes live at 1 p.m. Eastern today. I am freaking stoked. But before we get into all of that, we got an hour of more information. NBA tonight, Atlanta, Miami. Where are the syndicates going here? What type of bets have you been laying down on this?
We bet the over in Miami, Atlanta. Like I said, rarely going to touch a side. It's mostly going to be totals and player props as far as what the betting syndicates do. I bet my own NBA when it comes to playoff time. I've done well with that in the past. I haven't fired yet, but we did bet the over. When the line came out, we bet the over in Miami, Atlanta, bet it again all the way up to minus 219.5. It's opposite the public, I can tell you that, because I just looked in the back end before I jumped on, and it isn't heavy volume yet. I think that'll pick up during the day, but whatever is in the back end so far, it's all on the under, Prez. It's on the under in both games, but the Miami, Atlanta, it's greater than the second game. Like, you know, the volume in this first game is maybe 5-1 compared to the second game, and it's all under on Miami, Atlanta. So it's going to be a situation between the recreational bettors and the wise guys, because had the wise guys not gotten involved in this total, you'd be looking probably at like 217, 216.5 even. There's that much pressure from the recreational bettors. I mean, they were betting it from yesterday.
Wow.
Like I said, Major League Baseball, the big favorites, the money lines they were doing, the run lines they were doing, NHL, big money lines, and they were tying it into Miami, and they were tying it into the under. And they're betting even Miami and under parlays, Miami and under teasers. So I'm confident when that game tips off, the books will be needing the Atlanta side, and they're going to hope that the sharps are right and that this game goes over because they backed off. Again, they backed off at about 219.5. Since then, you get a lot of the piggybackers, the steam chasers that are still betting it over. But the public money is more than going to balance that out. In fact, that'll be where the risk is at. In the second game, another spot where the dog money is coming in from the recreational bettors. Nothing from the sharps, nothing on the side, nothing on the total. But looking in the back end, I could already see they're taking Dallas. And when you start seeing the dog getting money line bets, then you know that's going to come a lot later, heavier with the point spread. Like I've already seen enough Dallas on the money line where they don't think they need the points against Memphis. Yeah, that you know they're going to be taking the 6 later today. And I think that's why it's come down from 6.5 to 6. I even saw like a 5.5 out there, but that jumped right back up. So obviously someone saw a weak number and laid the 5.5, and it bounced right back to 6. But they are on the dogs. Again, don't want to keep repeating myself. They're taking Miami. They're taking Dallas. That's the recreational bettors, and they're betting the under in both games, heavier on the Miami under. But the sharp bettors, they are on the over in that first game. And a real popular teaser I keep seeing, Miami at plus like 5.5 and 6, and Dallas up to where they're getting like 11. So they think Dallas is not going to lose by double digits, no chance, and that Miami getting points is stealing. So they're putting that teaser in like it's free money. The Miami-Dallas teaser is the popular bet of today for the recreational bettors. So see how it turns out for them. I don't really like it. I actually like the favorites myself.
Gianni the Greek joining us. Marco D'Angelo's coming on later on the show. He's going to take apart the Mavericks and the Grizzlies, and also a look ahead at the T-Wolves versus the Lakers game 1 that goes on Saturday. So we have lots of NBA still to go. Stay with us. Andy Lang as well. We'll be discussing some NBA. Gianni, look, we got the NHL playoffs starting tomorrow. The NBA playoffs to a degree has already begun. Is MLB now, is there going to be a nice window of betting opportunity in MLB?
I love the question. That's exactly what's going to happen because it's now taking a back seat. It's going to take a back seat to the NHL playoffs, to the NBA playoffs. I mean, maybe the Sunday night baseball game will get some action. Maybe if there's a day game because, bettors want to get some action when there's nothing else to bet, and they're going to parlay that day game with the night NBA, with the night NHL. But for the next, 6 weeks, baseball will be getting very little action from the recreational bettors. I mean, they may use it, Prez. What I've seen historically is they'll use it to parlay into the NBA. They'll parlay it with the NHL. And primarily what they do is they look for the minus 200 or greater favorites, and they parlay them with the NBA or the NHL playoff bet that they wanted to touch later on. That's what happens 100%. And this is a really good time to take advantage of baseball because of the lack of action from recreational bettors, which means they're not going to get much attention from the odds makers and the sports books. Because let's remember, they're going to pay attention to where all the volume is and all the money is. And with baseball limits being so low, like I said, I came on crying that I'm getting accounts shut off, and I'm begging even subscribers for accounts because the limits are so low in baseball. Like, it's really hard to get down, even if you have good information. Like, getting down on totals, getting down even on sides isn't very easy. So they don't have to really put that much emphasis in it because the risk isn't going to be great. Like, once these lines move, that's it. They're done. I mean, I get yelled every day. I get reminded, not on screen, not on screen, not on screen. Like, they get pissed off because, like, they see somebody that bets it on screen, and then that book realizes, oh, this guy's getting sharp info. And as soon as that account gets bet, they move it and everyone follows the screen, and then they can't get the rest of their money down. So it's just an example of how hard it is to get money down in baseball. So the books aren't going to be all that concerned with it. Pay attention to it. That's when you could take advantage of it for sure. Because again, the first week, everybody's betting it. The playoffs, everybody's betting it. But right now, it's kind of going to be the sharps versus the books. And with the sharp bettors getting so limited, they're not going to have much risk at all. So you could really take advantage of that right now. I know it's exciting to bet the NBA and the NHL, and you get to watch the game on TV. But if you're doing it for profit, you're not going to get the best value in those because it's so late in the season. Like, the lines are really tight. They're not moving much. Unless a player is out or unless a total gets steamed, you're not going to see these sides move significantly at all. I mean, look, these lines have been up for 48 hours now? Have they moved in the NBA? And people have been betting it, but the books don't have to move it because they're very confident that the line is tight, that you're not going to get much of an advantage on side A or side B. And that's why I said they're really taking advantage, mostly totals and player props, because those are a little more inefficient. But the lines, the books are very confident that they're efficient. And even if they get hit by sharp bettors, they're going to get more than enough risk the other way. They'll write more than enough on the other side from recreational bettors to offset it. So, pay attention to baseball right now. I know it ain't as exciting as the NHL playoffs or even NBA playoffs, but if you do it for money, who cares?
Yeah, well said, brother. I mean, you want to talk about exciting? Try betting darts. Anyway, Gianni, we got a couple of quick things left with you. One of them is a listener in the chat asks a question. Mac Hudson. And Mac, I'm so appreciative that you logged on every day. All of you guys, man, Waj, Kevin, Save the Clock, Titans, Bezzy, Javier, really means the world to me. Hit that like button too, guys, please, if you don't mind. Mac writes, what is an EV bet? How do I make sure I am making them? Now, this is a tricky question, and we can do an entire show on this because not only are there lots of different types of EV bets, but the children on TikTok have completely redefined this term. Gianni, do you want to take a stab at this? Or do you want to take a stab at this?
Value on a bet. It's your expected value on a bet, which determines your edge. The best way you could know for sure, without a doubt, no one could argue it, that you placed a positive EV bet is if you get closing line value. I know people make fun of that all the time. Oh, I got the CLV trophy, but I didn't cash a ticket. What good is it that I got closing line value? Well, the only thing that matters is cashing a bet. That's bullshit. That matters if you're only placing one bet. Then the only thing you need to do is win. If you're just going to bet one time, then just win that bet. Closing line value doesn't matter or anything like that. But if you're going to be betting tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, then that actually is the only thing that matters. So if you're able to get closing line value, you placed a plus EV bet because you got out ahead of the market. So let's say tonight you took, what's that NBA game? Let's say you take Memphis -6 and at tip-off, it goes up this, it closes at 7.5. You made a nice plus EV bet. You're on the right side. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but it means if you keep doing that over and over and over, you're going to be profitable. Your expected value is positive as opposed to being negative. Kind of like if you bet Memphis -6 and it closes -5, -4.5, you placed a negative EV bet. That's a losing bet regardless of outcome. They could win the game by 30 and it's still a negative EV bet. That's one of the ways you could be sure it's a lock that you placed an EV bet, positive EV. The other way you could guarantee you placed a positive EV bet is this. If you look at the screen, okay, and everybody's at Memphis -6, but one off book or even the sharpest book is at 7 or 7.5, one of those sides guaranteed is plus EV. Your job is to figure it out, meaning anytime there's a middle on the board, anytime there's a scalp on the board where you could take plus 105 here, lay minus 102 here, one of those sides is positive EV. When the market's not stacked all the way across, like it's not painted the same, one of those that's off is plus EV. It's your job to figure out which side it is, but that's how you could know for certain you placed a positive EV bet. And when the lines are different, I tend to go with the sharper book. They tend to have the right side as opposed to the square books.
And Mac and everybody listening, me and Gianni are going to talk about this in greater detail next week when there's a little bit of a breather, because I do want to address this EV nonsense that is coming out of the social media platforms. You know, these people are like, okay, I'm on, I can make 2 cents by middling these two lines. Therefore, I have an EV bet. Well, whatever you say. Anyway, Gianni, what do you have going for the clients?
So far, I have a nice MMA bet that I gave out in the package for free yesterday on the PFL tonight. Going to keep crushing baseball. I mean, we're up 62 units in baseball overall so far in 2025, puts us at number 1. That's MLB and college baseball as well, because taking advantage of the college baseball. If you have outs that offer college baseball, you want to jump on board. We're doing a lot of damage there. Great last 3 days, last 7 days, last 30 days. Nicely up top 5 for 2025. Just going to keep grinding, Prez. I love this time of year. Gives you a chance to get nicely ahead before the fall gets here and NFL and college football, where you could really step up and do some damage. So it's just going to be the grind. I'll have that package up, like again, within the next 60 minutes with some baseball in it for sure.
There we go. Gianni the Greek, everyone. Don't you dare leave. Andy Lang to come. Marco D'Angelo. Brandon Siefkin, we got lots of show left. I want to thank all the guys in the chat room because a bunch of you have said, way to go on your 2-0 day yesterday, Prez. You know, a lot of people are playing me right now, and I cannot thank them enough. What a freaking run this has been. Guys, listen to this for a second. I'm the number one most profitable handicapper in the last 30 days. Here are my last 30 days. I have won 4 days in a row. I've won 10 of my last 12 days. I have had six losing days in the last 29. I'm on a 9-2 all sports run. I'm on an 8-0 and 12-1 baseball run. I won my last 2 hockey games, plus I'm the number one hockey expert in the season. And my NBA, number one since January, up 50 units of profit, and on a 10-3 run. So I'm killing it, and you guys are joining me. It means the world. I love when you shout me out. Thank you for that. Really, it just makes it makes me so happy. I have one NBA and one MLB play up tonight for my clients, and I am in absolute must bet mode. Now, before I started that diatribe, our good friend Chris Allen, one of the leaders of the WagerTalk TV channel, texted me saying, Prez, we are 4 people away. 4 people away from 200,000 subscribers. Well, now we're 3 people away. One of you just subscribed. Thank you. 3 people away from 200K. Andy Lang, are you the one that is going to get us those 3?
I'm subscribed with as many YouTube accounts as I possibly can, man. I have done my job. I have maxed them all out, brother. We're almost there, though. This is exciting. This is really cool.
The other thing is, I just got something from Gianni I had to read. So anyway, Andy, I did forget to mention, I bagged last night, main event WSOP circuit, $2,000 buy-in. I'm in the money. I am coming back for day 2 with 26 big blinds, and I'm happy about that. Life is good, my brother. Life is good. Okay, what do you got for us tonight?
Only 2 plays I'll go over, but I had a funny moment the other night I had to tell you about. So some of the most interesting conversations I've ever had in the last year or so have been with Lawrence. And we had a fascinating conversation that I wish we could do an hour on. Lawrence mentioned on a show, like, his kids and some of the younger generation have trouble finding what's their passion, what's their motivation, like what do they want to do, with their life. And we got to talking about AI and how it's, rendering several jobs and, careers like kind of useless. So I went to college I got my degree in video production, and I made TV shows and commercials and corporate videos and everything. And I was sitting at my computer the other night, Prez, and I made a video for a business that I'm working on, and I made it in like 20 minutes. And I thought to myself, God, this used to take me like a month to do it. And then it hit me. I've been rendered useless with my video production, Prez. We were literally talking about this. And my video production degree that I worked so hard at, and that I did it for decades, it's almost kind of useless. It was a really sobering, like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So anyway, that happened to me the other night. It was very, very funny. And it's the truth. I made this commercial for this product 10, 15 years ago. Me and my team, it would have taken us a month to make something like that. Right. So anyways, all right, free plays. 2 of them for everybody.
Andy, wait. Dan, 200,001 subscribers, baby. Boom. That is so freaking impressive. And that is so impressive, man. Shout out to all of you guys. Wow. Okay.
That was awesome.
Okay, Andy.
That was awesome.
Let's keep.
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep moving, brother.
Okay. We mentioned Davion Mitchell the other night. They moved his points to 9.5 to 10.5. I think I'd still play it small on the over. He's gone over in 7 out of 8 games. The play-in game, he played 33 minutes. He only shot the ball 5 times, but they were high percentage shots. He made all of them. He had a couple 3-pointers. He added 3 free throws. He had 15 points in that game, so he flew over the total. He's had 16 and 20 points against Atlanta this season, and Atlanta not very good against point guards. They give up 23.5 points per game to point guards. So, let's go right back to Davion Mitchell. And then golf round prop here. It tees off in an hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to take Victor Hovland over 2.5 bogeys in round 2. He had 3 yesterday, and he was in the much easier tee time in the morning. The morning guys got the easiest conditions, and he was spraying the ball all over the place. He had a bunch of birdies, but he also had a bunch of bogeys. This afternoon, Prez, the wind is coming in. I'm watching the golf right now. It's starting to pick up. It's going to get up to 20 miles an hour gusting later today. The afternoon guys are going to have it much, much harder. So Victor Hovland over 2.5 bogeys, and I already see the juice moving quickly on this one. So if we want to play it, I would lock that one in. But yeah, Davion Mitchell, Victor Hovland, that's all I got for today.
Andy Lang, everyone. Andy, you're joining us at 1 p.m. Eastern live. Our NHL playoff preview show. I'm excited to have you. And Andy, I got to tell you the craziest thing. I'm playing poker yesterday, as we all know, and I look up and I see your sweater, and I'm like, Andy's here. It wasn't you, but
no,
some dude. So are there? I've never seen below your chest. There pockets.
Yeah.
That was the exact sweater. Yep, that was the exact
awesome.
Sweater. Yeah,
That's
a guy, and I'm like, that's a good omen. I'm bagging tonight, and I bagged tonight. Andy Lang, everyone, freaking killer stuff, man. Way to go, and we'll see you at 1 o'clock. Guys, make sure to join us at 1 p.m. Eastern, and also make sure to be betting all my plays. Like, I promote the crap out of everybody, and there's a reason for that. I mean, we're just about to have Tokyo Brandon on, who's probably the greatest baseball bettor alive, literally alive. And Andy, I mean, you heard about him already this week. This guy wins every single day. He's one of the greatest prop bettors I've ever seen in my life. Gianni with the steam moves. Marco D'Angelo is as good as it gets, and he's coming off maybe 18 months of godlike handicapping. And yet here I am saying it's time to play me, because it is. And I'm just dominating for my clients right now. And the best thing in the world is when I wake up and I see people go, hey, Prez, thanks for the 2-0. Speaking of 2-0, Brandon Siefkin joining us. Tokyo Brandon, he's got 2 baseball bets to give out. And Zorro called. He wants his hat back. You going to do the Paso Doble for us or no?
I don't know what that means, but I'll do some baseball for you.
The Paso Doble, it's one of those power dances.
Like a bullfighter? Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the bullfighter dance. Yes.
Okay.
The old Paso Doble.
Like that. Okay.
Okay.
We're like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Prez.
I love Stevie Ray Vaughan, dude. Shout out to Stevie Ray Vaughan. Brandon, Los Angeles Dodgers, they're playing the Rangers tonight. How do you bet this game?
I went to a Japanese baseball game the other night. I got to see 2 home runs. It was a great time. Check my Twitter X account and you'll see my pictures from it. So here the Dodgers are taking on the Rangers. And we got Jacob deGrom. My voice is a little groggy from the baseball game. Sorry about that. And we got Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yamamoto's in his 2nd year. And let me tell you something about pitchers who cross oceans in their 2nd year. They excel. The reason is because Major League Baseball, Japanese baseball, they use different baseballs. The size is different. The texture is different. Very hard to get used to for guys who are gripping a baseball almost every day of their life. There's a culture difference. There's a language barrier. There's a lot to get used to when you cross an ocean. Usually first-year pitchers like Sasaki, we're seeing right now, they struggle a little bit because they're not used to the environment. They're not used to the baseball. They're not used to the crowd. So Yamamoto's in his 2nd year. He's starting to get used to all that. He's having an amazing year. And if you break down his stats, he's striking out 12 guys per 9 innings. It's just amazing how well he's doing. I wish he could go a little deeper into the games, but I think that'll come in time. In any case, the Dodgers bullpen struggling a little. Yates giving up runs like crazy. A lot of guys are giving up runs in that bullpen that you wouldn't expect to. So instead of a side, I think I'm going to go with a pitcher prop here. The Rangers are struggling a little at the plate. I think Yamamoto is going to go quite deep. Currently, his strikeout prop is 5.5, and I have him projected at 6.24. So the play I'm going to go with in this one is Yamamoto over 5.5 strikeouts is the first free play for today.
There we go. Tokyo Brandon joining us. Dude, you are so freaking cool. Like, honestly, I give you grief, but I don't think there's a cooler man going through a midlife crisis than you. Like, flat out, brother. Flat freaking out. I mean, wow. Damn. Yeah, go ahead.
I drive a red sports car too. So if you want to talk midlife crisis, I'm the epitome.
No doubt.
I'm 26. So.
Yeah, we know. Tokyo. So I went out last Saturday night, 2 Saturdays ago, and I wore a Tokyo Brandon inspired outfit.
I like the garbage dumpster fire too. That's nice.
Yeah. You think your outfit you think your outfit is good, dude? Come on. That outfit smokes your outfit. Nice. Now that is a midlife crisis outfit right there.
Looking like a figure skater or something. A Russian figure skater.
I don't know, man. I look like your wife's dream. Athletics against Milwaukee.
I don't know if she'd like that very much, but yeah, A's in Milwaukee.
She likes your look.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Fair enough, my brother. Fair enough. 10 and 9 Milwaukee playing 9 and 10 Oakland. Milwaukee's minus 170, a total of 7.5. Where do we go in this game?
So the Oakland A's, they get a lot of grief for their name and the fact that they're little nomads wandering around with no home, but they can smash the ball pretty good. And if you look at history, it's a really small sample size, but both Brent Rooker and Seth Brown are 1-2 against Peralta. Peralta's a good pitcher, but I think the A's are going to get to him a little bit. And the A's have a couple of guys who can smash it. Let me say something about when you do batter props. A lot of people like to do total bases, but actually the hits, runs, RBIs is a little more profitable. And the reason is because if your guy gets a walk, it does not count as a total base. And you're probably only going to get about 4 at-bats per game. And if you get walked, 1 is gone. So hits, runs, RBIs, if your guy walks, he can get knocked in by the next guy. It still counts for your prop. Usually they're about 1.5. And I was kind of surprised to see Brent Rooker's hits, runs, RBIs at 1.5. He's batting in a real power lineup. Peralta is a good pitcher. I don't think he's a great pitcher, but he's good. But I think Brent Rooker's going to get on base, and I think he's going to score. I like the over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs for Brent Rooker in this game. That's my second free play for the show.
Tokyo Brandon, everyone. Guys, we talk about how great Tokyo is in baseball, and you've heard it from me. This is a guy that has, it's not only baseball, Korean basketball, dressing. There's nobody better than him at anything. Number 1 all sport profit 3 of the last 4 years. At Tokyo, you have not disappointed. 2025 up 24 units already. I can't thank you enough for being part of our team, for being so colorful, for having a great sense of humor, for allowing me to poke fun at you. I have deep love for you, my brother. What do you got to promote for the clients?
2 things to promote. WagerTalk has got a 3-day pass for me for $39. You can use that anytime this year. If you use the code TB3 anytime during the season, you can get 3 days for $39. 5% plays are generally $35, so just add $4 to that. You can get any 5% play I put out within a 3-day period. It's a great deal. Other thing I want to mention is Adam Trigger, Brian Leonard, and myself. We're doing a show called Total Bases. We're doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, and it's a big hit. Go check the replays. I tend to be on the sauce a little when I'm doing the show, but it's still entertaining and it's fun. And we give out a lot of information. We go pretty deep into minor league players and things like that. So if you're a baseball freak, it's for you. If you're a casual baseball fan, might be a little over your head, but in any case, it is entertaining, and it's from three guys who know baseball pretty well. So catch that. And TB3, 3 days for $39.
Tokyo Brandon, freaking awesome. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Guys, many years ago, about, I don't even remember, 10 years ago, to 11 years ago, I don't know. I started WagerTalk Today with Marco D'Angelo. I begged him. He was working for a company that will go nameless and owned by a man who shouldn't have a name. And he was miserable and upset, depressed, distraught, and ready to make a move. I called him up on the phone. I'm like, yo, Marco, I can feel your negative, miserable energy from here. Why don't you quit with that crappy company and that poopy owner, and let's start a business and compete head-to-head against them? Well, they just hit their 17th subscriber today. We hit our 200,000. Marco D'Angelo, 200,000 subscribers on the day the two co-founders of WagerTalk get together and talk sports. Man, I am so pumped. Are you kidding me? This is like our baby, Marco. This is our baby. You don't even have a baby, so this is your actual baby. Oh,
great
pretty
day.
exciting.
Yeah, it would have been cool to be, if I was actually on live whenever we hit the 200,000. I was watching, so, we should have had cigars ready or something and lit a couple up. But historic day, and no question about it. We've come a long way, Prez, and we've done things the right way, and proud of what we were able to accomplish here at WagerTalk.
Well, I want to just take a quick moment to shout all the important people out. So firstly, Marco and I will forever be indebted to Gianni Detroit and Rick Alec. Gianni Detroit joined us. He was the COO from day one. He built this freaking channel, and he built it on the backs of Joe Ranieri and Dan Alexander and Kelly Stewart. Those three people instrumental to where we are in this channel. And of course, Rick Alec, who has taken over the CEO and running WagerTalk. So shout out to those guys and Kelly, because without them, this is not at 200,000 people. Bam, I'm pumped, dude. Okay, I got to calm down, man. I'm pumped. It took us too long to get. We've been like, for 3 weeks, we've been like 100 away. And anyway, I got to calm down, dude. Let's get into some basketball. You want to talk Dallas and Memphis tonight. And man, this Memphis team, they showed a ton of moxie coming back against Golden State. They were down by 20. They got within 3 points and really screwed up on an inbound pass that prevented them from trying to tie the game. With that said, I think they got to come into this game feeling good about themselves. The question for me is, and I think they do win this game outright, Marco, are they going to cover the spread? It's now -6.5. The 220.5 is the total. How are you going to bet this game?
Well, Prez, I'm looking at the total in this one. And what I'm looking at is you've got Dallas that's coming off that blowout win over Sacramento. And then you got Memphis, as you said, they were down early, but they rallied back and made a game of it, really, basically the whole fourth quarter. And they, covered that game, but they lost. Morant's going to be a game time decision. That's a key factor for Memphis. He hurt his ankle in that game, came back, it left the game, but came back in the fourth quarter, but sat out of practice yesterday. Both teams went over the total in their last game. And so the knee-jerk reaction would be, hey, let's look at the over again, especially if you look, these two teams played a week ago. They played on the final day of the season, and it was a 132-97 win by Memphis. Well, I'm not going to go that way. And the reason I'm going to go to the under is for a couple reasons. The Dallas-Sacramento game the other night went over. Two reasons. One, first off, Sacramento doesn't play good defense. Two, Dallas stormed out to a big lead in that game early on. And even though they had the big lead, they knew that they had to come back and play because of the way the play-in tournament is and where they were sitting, what seed they were. So they took their foot off the gas. They weren't playing hard-nosed defense because they were saving stuff for tonight to come back for the second game. Also, you look, well, they gave up 132 points in that season finale. The season finale didn't mean anything. So I always say when you get the end of the year and you got teams that are playing that there's not a life or death situation as far as the playoffs go, they're not going to put out the defensive intensity that you need. I think this is an underplay tonight. That's the way I'm going to go with this one. And if you look, the total on Sunday was 228. Vegas brought this out at 221. It's down to 220.5. So the market agrees with me as far as the bookmakers go. This is going to be an under tonight. They set the line 7 points lower than the last one, even though it went over the total. So put me down for under 220.5 in tonight's Memphis Dallas game.
There you go. Before we get into Saturday's matchup and you want to talk about the Lakers, what do you have to promote for the clients and how have you been doing?
Well, Prez, it's been a good run. You've been on a tremendous run. I'm trying to keep up with you. Last 5 days, we're on a 10-2 run. But guys,
nice.
This is playoff time. And, since the 2020 season, we're number one at WagerTalk in Money One. We've made 187 units for our clients over that period of time in the NBA. I don't do plays in the NBA every day during the regular season. Why? Well, because I don't have to. I pick my spots. But, man, when we get to the playoffs, we're there. And we had 4 play-in games so far. I bet 3 of them. We're 3-0. Why? Because I know all hands are on deck. You don't have to worry about load management when you get to the playoffs. This is my time of the year. You can jump on board. I've got a 4% play on the other game tonight on the card in the NBA playoffs. Get that winner tonight. You can pick it up for $25. Or why not grab the 7-day package? 7 days for $77. Not only will you get my basketball, you'll get my hockey, you'll get my baseball, you get everything. That's the way to go and join the winning team. Jump on board tonight.
There we go, Marco D'Angelo. Marco, Minnesota playing LA. And, I'll tell you something. Everyone is high on LA, and as they should be. One thing I know about Ant is he loves playing these big name stars. I don't think Minnesota's going to lie over and die here. I'm curious what you're thinking series wise, but game 1 is our focus. -4.5, -4 for LA, a total of 216.5. How you betting it?
Well, as far as the series go, Prez, this is one of those series that I think I'm going to take game by game. Now, a little shameless plug here. I do have a couple series plays that I do like. And if you check out a video that I just did this morning, it'll be up later today. It's Marco's Deli. I did give those 2 series plays out over there along with a couple other game 1 plays. So you can check all that out. Check out my, our YouTube channel and you can find that. But for this one, for the game, Prez, you're right. The public and the perception is all about the Lakers. Okay. Since they got Luka, this is a different team and everything else. And, that's true. And you look at the season series between these two, they're 2-2. But 3 of the games were played earlier in the season. Minnesota took 2 out of those first 3. That was prior to the Luka signing or trade, I should say. And the one game with Luka in the lineup, the Lakers won. They won by 9 points. But I'm going to point something out. 2 things about that game. When Minnesota played the Lakers, that was the absolute horrible scheduling spot for Minnesota. They had played Oklahoma City, I'm going to give you their last 4 games leading up to when they played the Lakers. They played Oklahoma City on the last night before the All-Star break. They beat Oklahoma City. Then they had the 8-day All-Star break. They come back off the All-Star break and they travel to play Houston. They play the Rockets, who are the number 2 seed. Okay. They lose to the Rockets in a close game, 121-115. They then travel to play Oklahoma City again. They play them at home and they lose to Oklahoma City in a shootout, 130-123. Then the very next night, 3 games in 4 nights, all in different cities, they go to Oklahoma City and play Oklahoma City in back-to-back games. So they played Oklahoma City, the best team in the NBA, 3 of 4 games, and they beat them in Oklahoma City. And then after that, they had to travel and play the Lakers. So the Lakers were a 6-point favorite, and they win the game by 9 points. So everybody's going to jump on the Lakers because the perception is now they got Luka, they're a better team. Guess what? Go back and look at the box score of that game. Everything that I just told you, all the negatives about Minnesota in that game, and they still only lost by 9, all of the stats were basically even. Turnovers, 3-pointers, field goal percentage for the game, except one stat, Prez. Listen to this. Minnesota went to the foul line 26 times in the game. The Lakers, guess they were getting a little home cooking, 46 times they went to the foul line in that game. They went to the foul line 20 times more than Minnesota. They connected on 12 more points than Minnesota from the foul line. Guess what? That's the difference in the game, those extra foul shots. That's how they won and covered that game in an absolute horrible spot for Minnesota. I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota tonight. I think the public's too much in love with the Lakers. I think this is going to be a series that could go the distance. Give me Minnesota plus the points tonight. Or I should say tomorrow night.
There you go. Marco D'Angelo. Wow. What a great show, Marco. And beautiful synergy that you were here for our 200th subscriber. Thanks for doing this, brother. Kick ass. Best of luck. We'll see you next week. Shout out to everybody who was on the show today. What a fun show. Gianni the Greek, Andy Lang, Brandon Siefkin, otherwise known as Tokyo Brandon, and that guy still on the screen, Marco D'Angelo. Dan Alexander, my producer, the best of the best. All of you guys in the chat room, make sure to watch us at 1 p.m. Eastern. We're taking a 17-minute food break, and we are back. Shane Corson, Jim Dowd, Andrew McGinnis, Jeremy Roenick, Matthew Barnaby, Andy Lang, Lawrence Presman. I'm sure Dan won't shut up and will speak at some point in the middle of it all. Our NHL previews show starts live in 17 minutes. Make sure to bet my plays, guys. Seriously. I also have an NHL future play up. I'm 73% in NHL futures ever. Like in my entire life, I am 72.7% in NHL in all my future bets. I got one up tonight. Love you all. See you in 17 minutes.